Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for April 17th, 2022, from Acts chapter 28, Paul, still proclaiming Christ. Previously, we heard about Paul on his way to Rome being shipwrecked on an island. God saved everyone that was on the ship, and the native people were taking good care of them. But as Paul was helping out, he was bit by a poisonous snake. The native people thought that he was being punished by God because of the snake bite. But Paul shook off the snake and lived. And as Christians, we remember that Jesus Christ pays the punishment for our sins. So God isn't going to be punishing us. He already punished Jesus. Yes, there may be some natural consequences to our sins, but God does not punish us directly. He punished Jesus instead. From Acts chapter 28, verse 7. Now, in the neighborhood of that place were lands that belonged to the chief man of the island, named Publius, who received us and entertained us hospitably for 3 days. It happened that the father of Publius lay sick with fever and dysentery. And Paul visited him and prayed, and putting his hands on him, healed him. So not only did Paul live from the snake bite, but he was able to bring healing from God to another person. The result of which, verse 9, and when this had happened, the rest of the people of the island who had diseases also came and were cured. They also honored us greatly. And when we were about to sail, they put on board whatever we needed. Paul had to stay on this island for about 3 months until winter was over, and then another ship that happened to be wintering at that same island would then take him to Rome. So Paul would eventually arrive at Rome. It is interesting what takes place immediately after Paul gets to Rome. You would think that Paul would immediately be granted a hearing before Caesar, but that's not what immediately took place. From Acts chapter 28, verse 16. And when we came into Rome, Paul was allowed to stay by himself with a soldier who guarded him. After 3 days, he called together the local leaders of the Jews, and when they had gathered, he said to them, "Brothers, though I had done nothing against our people or the customs of our fathers, yet I was delivered as a prisoner from Jerusalem into the hands of the Romans." So Paul was meeting with the Jewish leaders there in Rome and trying to explain how he got there. And it also gave an excellent opportunity to proclaim Christ while he was still a prisoner. Verse 18. When they had examined me, they wished to set me at liberty, because there was no reason for the death penalty in my case. But because the Jews objected, I was compelled to appeal to Caesar, though I had no charge to bring against my nation. For this reason, therefore, I have asked to see you and speak with you, since it is because of the hope of Israel that I am wearing this chain. Paul spoke very true words. It was because of the hope of Israel that Paul was wearing those chains and in prison. Of course, that hope is Jesus Christ, and that opportunity to proclaim Christ to all the nations. But would the Jews in Rome want to hear this? Verse 21, and they said to him, "We have received no letters from Judea about you. And none of the brothers coming here has reported or spoken any evil about you. But we desire to hear from you what your views are with regard to this sect. We know that everywhere it is spoken against." Join me again tomorrow as we continue this account. God's peace and many blessings be with you, and thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for listening.